In this tutorial for Team Yankee, I'm going to discuss being pinned down. To give a quick summary of what pinned down is, and I'll go more in depth how that affects the units in a game, is it's basically kind of like being bailed out. The men pretend a machine gun, you're crossing the field and a machine gun starts firing. You're going to hunker down. You're going to keep your head down, you're not going to shoot, you're not going to do anything really. That's kind of what pinned down is. I'll go more into detail in this video about what it is. It's more than just that. But I also want to talk about who can be affected by pinned down. There's really two types of units that can be affected by pinned down, and that is infantry and unarmored tank units. Those are the only two that's going to be affected by this pinned down. So your armored tank and your aircraft will not be affected by this. Now there is one way that infantry can become immune to being pinned down, and that is if they're in a transport. So if they're in a tank, armored tank transporter or aircraft, they're not going to become pinned down. Once they're out of it, that's a different story. So how do you become pinned down? Well, we're going to take these infantry, and you can pretend like they're unarmored tank teams too. So I'm going to throw these out here. They're crossing the field. They're trying to get to the objective. Maybe they just got to the objective. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11's a number, remember, or 12. If you have 11 or less, if you get hit 5 times, if this unit gets hit 5 times in the shooting step, in one shooting step, they become pinned down. So let's take a look here. We got some shilkas. And these shilkas are going to shoot these guys. And if we look at the shilka card, they move, so they're going to get 4 dice each. So 4 to them, 4 to them, and 4 to them. And we're just going to combine them, and they're going to shoot at this one. They're all within 6 inches, we'll say, and we'll allocate out from there. So they need 3s to hit. So we roll these dice, get all the hits out of here. There we go. These are misses. They get allocated out. But how many hits did this unit take? Is it 5 or more? Yes. So if that happens, this unit becomes pinned down. And we put a little marker on it to show they're pinned down. If they only took 4 hits, they are not pinned down. So what can somebody do in that situation? And they're out here, and they've got to make their saves. So we'll see if any of them, see if they live. Oh, this one's gone. And this one's gone. So now these were up here also. Maybe the guys are on an objective, and the Soviet players, like these Americans or something, Soviet player wants to take these out. So each of these are going to get 3 shots by looking at their card. They're going to get 3 shots each because they moved. And this one, they took 4. You're going to have to kind of keep track of how many hits they took, because this is during one shooting step. How many total hits did they take from everything shooting at them? So there, oh, definitely. That put them over. And so this unit is definitely pinned. Okay. But what happens if we start with more than 11? So 12 or higher is what we've got now. So this is what we're looking at. How many does it take to pin these guys down? Now it's gone from 5 to 8. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So the shilkas are going to shoot. Let's see if they can pin them down. Needing 3s. Wow, I hardly missed. So that pinned them down. Boom. They took definitely 8 or more. But let's say they took that. So the shilkas only hit this many times, 6. That's not enough to pin that unit that big. And we'll do some saves here, and I'll just take some guys out. So, oh, we had 2 die. We're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going to knock this down to about there. Let's say the Shilka's killed off that many. Now remember, they could combine in to get that total of 8, but we got a situation now of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's less than 11, so they should be pinned down now. No. It's how many did they start that shooting step with? They're still considered for this step to have 12 or more stands. That's what's required to pin them. Not that they've dropped down and now they're shooting at a unit that has less men in it, so it's only going to take less. So it's still considered they are 12 or more. Well, they hit 6 times, so you got to try to remember that if you can. Maybe put a 6 on there or some type of marker if you can't remember. And now they're going to get their 3 shots, and they basically only need to hit twice to pin these guys, and they got it. So now these guys are pinned. So remember, it's what they start the shooting step with, their total number, not where they're at when this unit starts shooting at them. Now another thing to be careful of, if they are separate units, you don't combine. So if this was here and this is another unit here, and this Shilka shoots up there and hits 3, and these Shilkas go down here and hit 4, none of these are pinned. They didn't take 5, and they didn't take 5. Now, another thing I want to cover, and then I'll go over what the effects will be of pinned down, is how they can also become pinned down is if a template weapon is used. That could be like an airplane, artillery, helicopter. If they use the artillery or the salvo, and they hit once, they hit any of these men, say they're in the same unit, we'll go back. Actually, if it could be separate. If they get hit once, they are pinned. So let's say they get hit, they're pinned. Remember, it's not destroyed or anything, it's just being hit. They're not pinned. But if they did get hit, we need to also mark them with a pin. So please, that's one of those tricky things you have to remember. With regular shooting, it depends on what number men and number of stands, is it 5 or 8? With artillery templates, it's just being hit once. So what is the effects of being pinned down? So I'm going to take some of these off just to make it a little easier. There we go. And we'll just have these 3 guys out here, just to keep it simple. All right, so if these guys are not pinned down, they can move, they can shoot, do whatever. If they're pinned down, they're going to be limited on what they can do. One of the things is, if there's some enemy around them, if they want to move, they cannot move closer to these. They can move away, but you cannot move closer to the enemy. Now, let's put a building here. I'm trying to do the best I can on this. And on the other side is a tank. They can't see each other, so they're going to move this way. Oh, another thing that cannot happen is you cannot move a pinned unit into line of sight of another enemy team. So if they go around this building, even though they're not moving closer to either one of these, there's a point where this, that didn't see them before, can now see them, and they cannot move any further. So there's a limitation on where you can move. If you do move, you cannot shoot. So it's, in this situation, they can move or shoot, not both. And if they do shoot, they have to shoot at their moving rate of fire. So let's take a real close look at these men here at their card. So even if they didn't move, of course, if they move, they can't shoot. They have to shoot at this rate. Oh, there's a dash. That means that if the AA team is out there and it's pinned, it can't even shoot, period, because it has a dash. If the light machine gun team, they're going to shoot 4, and you can see, and so forth. So being pinned down can be really nasty for infantry and unarmored vehicles. And that's basically it. Now, how do they get to be unpinned? Well, that's where you go to your starting step. So it's this, these are done. It's their turn. They are pinned down. If you go through, and you have to go through these in order, so you have to do formation check first, then check victory conditions, then reveal the ambush. You just don't jump around. You go straight down, roll for strike aircraft, and if you look, rally pinned down units. So how you do that is you go on the card, and this will be on unarmored vehicles too will have this, is they have a rally number right there, rally. So if these guys get a 3+, you roll for the whole unit, not each guy. 3+, they're unpinned. 1 or 2, they are still pinned. So in this case, got a 6, they're unpinned, they can act normally. If they roll a 1 or a 2, it's close. They are still pinned that turn and still have the limitations of moving and the shooting. And that is pinned down.